Hey there, houseplant friends! A little while ago I did a video about the naming of Hoya zangii and I really enjoyed putting that video together. So I decided that I would do another deep dive into the name of a plant. So the plant that I am looking at today is the Epipremnum Aureum. Some people pronounce it Epipremnum, some people pronounce it Epipremnum. I'm not quite sure which one is the correct pronunciation. Perhaps the most common name for this plant is golden pothos. But I got curious as to why exactly it is called a pothos, especially when its botanical name is Epipremnum Aureum. The plant was first classified in 1880 as Pothos aureus, as it was considered to be part of the Pothos genus. However, apparently this classification was made based on a juvenile sample, and some plants can change dramatically as they mature. So as the plant began to mature, they realized that it didn't look anything like the other plants in the Pothos genus. So in 1908, its classification was challenged and it was placed into the Scindapsus genus. This explains why on this plant tag, Scindapsus aureum is listed as a synonym. And apparently, I don't know this for sure, but apparently in Europe it is still common to refer to this plant as a Scindapsus aureum. So it remained in the genus of Scindapsus up until the early 60s. In 1962, a flower was observed. Interestingly, that was the first time and has also been the last time that a flower for this plant has ever been observed either in the wild or in cultivation. This plant is in the Aureaceae family, so it is an auroid, just like monsteras and philodendrons, and often it is quite difficult to tell different auroids apart unless you can observe a flower. So after first examining the flower, this plant was reclassified as a Raphidophora aurea. However, after much closer examination of the flower, it was thought to resemble an already existing plant, Epipremnum pinnatum, and was classified as such. And then, after even more observation of the leaves and its growing pattern, it was classified as its own separate species, Epipremnum aureum. There were some that believed it should be considered a variety of Epipremnum pinnatum, so its classification would be Epipremnum pinnatum var aureum, but the currently accepted science is that the two are different enough to be considered two distinct separate species. Okay, so long story short, the reason why this plant is still called a pothos is because it was once, a very long time ago, considered to be part of the Pothos genus. And despite the fact it has not belonged to that genus for over 100 years, the name Pothos still persists. At the end of the day, Pothos is really a misnomer because it references a genus that this one doesn't belong to. In many ways, it's kind of like describing a Monstera deliceriosa as a split-leaf philodendron. It's just not correct. Which is why I am going to try from now on to always refer to this plant as an Epipremnum aureum rather than refer to it as a pothos, because to me I feel that is the most correct name for it. I think what this story also highlights is just how important flowers are in determining the correct classification for a plant. So at the end of the day, this guy has been placed into a lot of different genuses, has had a lot of different classifications, but for the time being, the name Epipremnum aureum seems to be the best fit for this one. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the history of this plant. It was certainly an interesting thing to read up about. I plan on continuing doing these plant deep dives. So if you want to know more about the name of a particular type of plant, or maybe you want to know about the history of a plant, or just basically anything that you want to find out about, leave it in a comment down below, because I almost certainly will end up doing a video on it. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like, and if you want to see more planty content like this, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!